Hello, 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 dear folks. Welcome to season 6 of our On the Ball series produced by the stars among us. I am Ozzy, and I am very, very happy that you tuned in to this thank you tour of mine. As you know, each episode is a thank you card to those who have impacted my life. This season is a memoriam of those who have passed last year. And in celebration of their lives, I'm hoping that this particular season brings a balm to those who have known them. Today, I'm shining light on Voodo Fe. There's a poem for you. Poetry for you. Hello, Voodo Fe.
Hello.
Love to shine light on you today. And
How are you?
Doing just fine. Wonderful to get your voice here on my podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
You are welcome, and thank you for asking me. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the time.
Absolutely. Now, just a little bit about Voodo Fe, folks. He's an apparel designer of Haitian heritage who in the past designed for Calvin Klein, DKNY, the NFL, the NBA, and was even commissioned to do a piece for Beyonce. He's also a member and designer for Rohan Marley's Lion Order, Roots luxury brand. First question, Voodo Fe.
Yes.
Did you have mentors?
Yes, I have a father figure, Dr. Oren Hesterman. I have Lily, who's a mother figure. I have more spiritual guidance mentors, not so much business mentors, but they just help me get through it.
That was going to be one of my questions down there, but you've answered it already. Would you care to enlighten us as to who those guides are?
In respects to the guides, my spiritual guides are different. They include my mother, who passed when I was 24, and my father, who also passed a few years after that. There is something spiritually connected with them that's hard to explain. I don't really go into looking for the answer of what it is that's there, but there's something special there with me and my parents.
Wonderful. As a musician, do you play instruments, sing, compose?
I used to play in a band. I used to play in several bands. Currently, I produce and write. I don't perform as much anymore. In my heyday, we opened up for Run DMC, Naughty by Nature, Michelle Indego, and Cello. My partners have gone off to do like world tours. The music aspect is there. My brother Gene taught himself how to play 9 instruments. My other brother Pat taught himself how to play drums on a pack of magazines and a pillow, and we formed a group around that. I've always created soundtracks to my life. If you listen to the music that I play now, you can literally go through my life up and down through it.
Thank you. All right. So you have just launched your Miles Davis clothing and art collection. Are there others of that caliber on the horizon?
Oh, yeah. I mean, currently we're working with that. We're also working with Rohan Marley, as you mentioned. We are also working with CC Marley, Mother Marley, working on a spice line with them. The next range of stuff also includes David Bowie, AC/DC, Talib, Darnell Rollins. There's a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of things that we are here to completely shake up.
Lovely. Can't wait. Now, you work in multiple mediums, but not on canvas.
No.
Why?
No. I've been through a lot of things, right? 10 surgeries in. My 11th is being planned. Bipolar, dyslexic. Mentioned earlier, lost both my parents. Been hit by 3 cars, like serious alcoholic, things that got me through. And canvas is too fragile for me, right? Wood is something that you can knock down and you can pick it back up. Canvas is just something where it tears. Even when I work on wood, it tends to give me splinters. It tends to cut me. There's a lot of pieces that I have that have my blood on it. Literally, I connect better with that. It's the grit of who and what I am. And sometimes the wood has an attitude the same way any person does. And sometimes it doesn't want to play nice, same way any other person does. And for me, wood is sometimes it's a good wood and sometimes it's bad. I like it. Really like it.
So to get a piece of your work, to buy a piece of the work is actually to also have a piece of your life physically.
Yeah. Yes. And I tend to pull wood out of the garbage as well. Like I look at the way I've turned my life around of taking garbage and turning it into diamonds. So that representation is also there as well. It's just not just the paint on it, but what I paint on it is part of the story as well.
One of the questions I did have for you was, could your physical ailments, whatever they were, you spoke about some of them there, could they have served your art and artistry?
That's a great question. I've been in pain most of my life, pretty much since my mid-20s up until today. I would trade a lot of things in my life, but I have less pain. I don't know if the pain has done anything. When I work on things, I don't feel pain though. My knees don't hurt when I'm working on a piece, or when I'm in my zone, in my place where I can get my body to feel like I have wings and I don't have any legs, but I have more like dust and smoke as legs so that my feet aren't touching the floor, so there's no pain in it. That's part of the creation process. I become a different person sometimes.
So you have a mantra, which is different, defiant, and free.
Yes.
I read about what you set your mind to with your experience of being dyslexic as a child, etc. But I have a question. Why the study of quantum physics and Mandarin?
Mandarin first, it was more about the challenge of it. It was something completely foreign, and not in terms of the language, but foreign to my way of thinking, right? It was something where I wanted to do that. It was something that I can't even put a finger on it, but I knew challenge was the one thing. The thing about quantum physics, though, that actually connected to something before that when I learned about NLP, neurologic language patterns. And it helped me turn my drinking around when I learned that aspect of things, which then led me into quantum physics. Quantum physics just turned out to be something where there's this mysterious thing that not even science can fully understand that's worth looking into, the curiosity of it. I think those two forms pique my curiosity. I get bored really quick. I have a very short attention span. For me to be in it, that'll be hard for me.
Okay. So what was the catalyst that got you to quit your addictions cold turkey?
I drank for a while. I had my first drink at 12. Got really bad to where I was drinking a gallon of rum a day. There was a version of me that I always imagined that wasn't an alcoholic, that wasn't popping pills, that wasn't a womanizer in terms of all the women I've been with, someone that was honorable to his word. And I would look at that person in awe. And I always knew that drinking would be the person that and make that happen, but it was impossible for me because I was such an alcoholic and I knew it. One day on my brother's birthday, I had 2 drinks in my hand and I felt a rush of water come in the house. It was just a rush. And I didn't hear my mother's voice. I felt my mother's voice say, "That's it." Right? So I put the 2 drinks down and to show what kind of drinking I was in. Why are you home with 2 drinks? I put the 2 drinks down and that was it. It ended on that moment right there. I can't explain the why of it. I knew it was something that I needed to do. I've been clean for 7 years, no drinking, no drugs, and I haven't had a thing of falling off and on the wagon. There's not one day where I crave it. Like I retaught my brain on how to deal with it.
On that note, could you explain the art science aspect of your work or the effects of art on health?
Yes.
How is it depicted in your art?
Yes.
How it's helped you and helped others and can help
Yes.
you?
One thing that we're deeply rooted in is working on getting art back into school and getting it protected legislatively, right? And we figured out what way can we do that? We know that men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. So what we did was like, what science of art can we use to support our idea? And we found color theory. There are certain colors that can calm you down. There are colors that will pick up your energy. There are colors that can raise your depression level. And you can scientifically prove this. There's data out there. There was this one test done where they put artwork up in the classroom. Not that the kids needed to draw the art, but they had the artwork up and their grades went up by 3 to 5%, right? So quantifying this information, what we've done with our gallery was create pieces that lean on the idea of color theory. So the first room has a lot of calm faces, but it's also dressed in a lot of browns and earth tones of green, which naturally calm you down. And then the second room is our pop room, where we got bright colors, hearts, things smiling at you that lift your heart. Now, it sounds like woo world, yet what we do is then we test your stress level on each room. We test you at the front door to see where you are first. Then we have you go through the first room and prove that your stress levels drop. And then after take a few minutes, put you in the second room, calculate your energy, and we could prove through the stress test. We have a test that takes your stress meter and can read it through and quantify that information. There goes data. And with the connections that we've made, both through politically and through recognizable figureheads, along with some financial people behind us, we know that we have something that can actually get art back in school and keep a lot of kids' perspectives open. If you take art out of schools, there's a lot of kids, you're killing them. You're going to stop them. This is like, art for me is the only thing I'm good at. I'm almost on genius level when it comes to creation, right? I'm not on genius level behind a register. There's no other occupation I can take. There's no other thing I can do. And I know that there's other kids like me.
In speaking about your store, which is named Spot for Art.
Yes.
It's described as cool, calm, creative.
Yeah.
And it seems
like that's our promise. Our promise is when you come here, it'll always be cool, calm, creative.
It seems very much like an art gallery that carries clothing rather than the other way around, right?
For us, it's more of not to over define it so that it can always move. So the organic experience is always available for us, right? We're the first NFT gallery / original art gallery in Brooklyn. We also have clothing. We also have art classes here. It's more of a creative space where creatives get to come and play. It's not so much defined as a gallery. We're far from a gallery. We're not a clothing store. We're not anything, but we're everything.
Right.
With art front and center.
Which is totally cool. Now comes, what celebrities have visited this spot and possibly frequented it since visiting?
Yeah. We've been lucky enough to Darnell Rollins, Talib Kweli, DMC from Run DMC has been here. I've done paintings for Tiger Woods. Janelle Monáe has stuff by us. Carl Banks, April Walker. We've had Vince, Miles' nephews come through. We've had some very, very important, iconic men and women who just like beautiful people who get what we're doing. It's really exciting to work with them. They're one of us kind of mentality.
At this point in your life, what more would you like to achieve?
Our organization is an idea organization. It's an imagination organization. It's set up so that the creatives behind us have a home. And we want to get this to be the greatest operation ever. We need it to be bigger than a school. It needs to be bigger than a gallery. It needs to be an industry in its own where creatives have an understanding of how to make money off their art, generational wealth through that. Also training in terms of what to do with your money. A lot of kids, especially Black and Latin kids, have no idea what it is to, when you get $1 million, you don't go buy a house and a car. They don't understand that, almost half of that is not yours. And they don't know the budget with that. So it'll be a thing, really training artists on how to think on the certain basic things that are going to be there. I know the question is what I want for myself. For me, this whole thing that we're building here. For me, the biggest thing is to make sure that it works without me. I don't need the accolades. I don't need a whole bunch of stuff. This has to work without me. I need this to be the size of Walt Disney. I need that. I need this to be something where we don't need to ask any bank for a loan. We can sponsor and support our own. All right. It needs to be something so powerful. I don't need to ask you for nothing.
That said, who or what do you advocate for?
The artists. All day, the artists. I understand them, they understand me. There's a lot of things that we're not good at speaking up for ourselves. We're not good at being aggressive about certain things. I am not afraid of the moment. I am around other artists, like-minded creatives who are not afraid of the moment, and there's no reason. Why would I not show another kid how to do it? It's a matter of stepping up. The artist gets the raw end. A lot of funding gets removed. A lot of art projects gets removed from schools and all this other stuff you see happening. And ultimately that hurts generational wealth down the line. And you could turn a lot of art industry or art mentalities into industry. You could take any artist who just wants to paint and say, hey, you can put your painting on graphic. You can become a textile designer. You become a shoe designer. You can turn your art into something where you can stay in your art lane. There's so many great artists who are working outside of themselves, working in jobs that they hate and only get to paint on the weekends. Let's change that 80-20.
That said, what are your pet peeves?
I don't know if I have one. I believe in this. You're not broken. I'm not here to fix you. Right? There's not one human's opinion on this planet that I'm hoping to co-sign. There's nobody who, I hope they like me. And there's not one human. I don't care. I respect every person's everything. As long as you're not hurting anyone, you're not hurting any kids, you're not putting your hands on any women, I'm good with you. You're not doing nothing against the law, we good. You could think exactly how you want to think. I get to choose if I agree or disagree. If I disagree, I leave it at that. One beautiful thing that occurred was when I met Sonia's dad. You would see us, we'd be completely different, completely polar opposites to everything. One thing I knew was, I knew what we agreed on. And I figured this thing out. If we disagree on 99% of the things, we won't talk about those 99% of things. If we agree on one thing, we're going to talk about that 1% of the thing 99% of the time. Mm-hmm. And that grew into something where me and him, I don't want to say a magical, it was something clicked. Nick was my dude. You know what I mean? It just was, we oddly got each other. We both were into football, both into engineering, history, things of just growth. Like, we were good.
What are 3 things then that you are grateful for, business and personal? Okay,
great questions right there. All right. My failures, my business partners, my willingness to fail. I don't have a fear of failing. Mm-hmm. And that first one, I would like to reword it. It's not so much my failures, my lessons. That's the best thing of it. The 3 are my personal. Sonia, I have an amazing community of family and friends, so I would have to put all of them in that one clip there. The fact that I know I just have to do one special thing to have a special day.
What do you do to relax?
I tend not to. I'm manic bipolar, so my energy level is way up there. I've learned to manage my manic, yet there is one place that we go to on vacation. We go there often. Hollywood, Florida is one place that has given me the experience of relaxing a little bit more, to the point where we will have a place in Florida. We also have we'll go back and forth, Florida, New York. It just seems to make the most sense. And plus, the weather's nicer. Oh my God.
And it's pretty much a quick trip.
We're going to go get the clear thing because I get stopped at the airport a lot because I have a lot of metal in my body. So anytime you go through that thing, I got to get searched and double searched and triple searched, and they got to pull things through. So outside of that part, everything else, like the flights are easy. The experience from getting to the place, we're usually right on the beach. Like, when in terms of relaxing, that's the moments where I get to just look at water, because I really love just looking at water.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got to tell my audience that I became aware of you via a very dear friend at a time when I was suffering the losses of many friends last fall. And during those traumatic months, I found that looking at your artwork lifted my spirits, helping to ease the grief. My mind was able to rest, ponder, wonder at your creative works. I could lose myself in it. I was able to put everything aside for however long. And I want to thank you because it helped the trauma. And I wanted my audience to know this and to be able to be aware of you and what your art can allow them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am so inspired by you, and I really appreciate knowing you and allowing me into your life and to your heart and to your art.
Hey.
And so I thank you very, very much for this time together. I know
you're so welcome.
A lot of questions coming at you, and for my audience, thank you as well for spending a very, very valuable time with us today. Please care to share. And remember, when you're on your beat, stay on the sunny side of the street safely. Be health conscious and kind to one another. And don't forget to give thanks for the little and big things.
Yes.
Voodo Fe, I appreciate this time. I really appreciate being in your life.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. And I look forward to doing this again when you come out with the next and the next and the next.
You know we got something coming. You know we cooking something already.
Okay. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. And have an enjoyable rest of your night. Thank you.
You're welcome. Say hello to Sonia. Bye.
I absolutely will. All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey there. Please help us in our mission to support those facing fatal diseases through our t-shirt sales by donating or shopping at aussiestewart.com or supporting us at anchor.fm/AussieStewart. That's ANCHOR.FM/AussieStewart. And don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel at Aussie Stewart. Yep. Leave a comment.